Thank you for tuning in today. We're going to look at splitting the Korg Wavestate keyboard. If you'd like to skip directly to the demo, just click that first link in the timeline. As always, it'll get you right over there. But if you hang around for a moment, I think you'll feel a sense of pleasant euphoria, much as I do, and I'm about to feel some more. The Korg Wavestate has 3 octaves with an extra C note on the right side of the keyboard. And it's a great tool to be able to use. You can split the keyboard into 4 different sections, however you please. So today we're going to take a look at that, and we're going to be doing it without software. We're just going to use the manual control panel of the Korg, and that should be good enough. I hope you'll enjoy the content. If you do find some joy in watching this, or at least it takes your mind off your problems for a minute, please slip me a like, slip me a $5 there. And definitely subscribe. We're going to have more videos coming up, I promise. Let's get over to the demo. Welcome to the demo. In this installment, we're going to learn how to split the keyboard. As you see, we're starting out with the DBL unpredictable arpeggio, just as a template to use. It doesn't really matter. This is the one I've been using, but you could use whatever you want. Now we're going to start the demo by adding to the layers. We're going to edit the layers. So we are now in layer A, as you can see by the light here. And I'm going to put on my headphones since that will allow me to have a much better sound. And, yes, so let's start with layer A. And we're going to go to the wave sequence, and the wave sequence that we want for this is bro time bass. And there is bro time bass. So we're just going to press enter. And now, as you can see, for layer A, we have the preset bro time bass. Sounds kind of like that. All right, let's move on to layer B. For layer B, we're going to also put a bass sound, and this one's going to be a little bit lower. It is going to be wubba bass when I can find it. Wubba bass, there it is. Let's press enter. So now, as you can see, we have B wave sequence, and the preset is wubba bass. Let's move on to layer C. And I found out that you don't have to hit the shift key to activate the layer button. You just tap it twice. So that's a huge time saver. For this one, we're going to use a preset called Magic. Magic, there's Magic. Enter. C. Okay, let's do the same thing with D. For D, we're going to use a string wave sequence. So see, we can also use wave sequences as well as the single sounds, the wave single samples, whatever they call them, the wave whatever. We can use wave sequence. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to move into performance mode. We can just depress it lightly with great respect since it's expensive. And we'll hit shift and arrow, and we can scroll through some of these settings. If you look back, we have someone was asking me about this in a previous video. We have sort of a mixer here for each layer. We can add gain here. This is the decibels, as hopefully you can see. I'll get some pictures to go along with this as well. But let's go ahead and move, shift, right arrow, and we're going to keyboard zones. That's what we want to look for. And we're going to start with layer A, the bro time bass. So bro time bass, what we want to do, we're going to split the keyboard into 3 sections. So we're going to have from C to B, from C to B again, and then C all the way to the end of the keyboard. So we're going to start with what is the high note, what is the last high note that we want to allow for bro time bass. We want it to be this one. Now, what we can do is we start to lower this And if you can see, I'll take a photo of it. You can see that there are 4 indicators that show basically where you are. In addition to being able to see where you are in the keyboard zone, like A6, there's also the indicator. There is also the indicator, which looks kind of like an EQ. Okay, so we don't want to be able to hear row time bass here, so let's just, and we can see row time bass goes away when we have it all the way at the bottom. And it looks like A2 is the setting we want for that. So we can hear row time bass from here. But not here. And we're going to do the same thing with layer B. So we'll just jump over to layer B. This makes it super simple. And we just place it at the same spot at A sharp 2. A sharp 2, where are you? We got to go. And you can use that sliding scale thing, whatever you want to call it, that looks like the EQ, that helps you to do it a lot faster. So now we have both, but not here. Here we only have magic and the strings, because we haven't changed this one yet. So we're going to change it, and we're going to change the low note first, because we don't want to do this one. So we're going to slide this up just above. Oops. So put that at B2. Now we have magic from B2 all the way up to the end of the keyboard. However, we only want the magic wave sequence in the middle of the keyboard, so we don't want to hear it on this note. So we'll just do the same thing up here, and we'll go to the top, the high note. We're going to reduce the high note. So we can see that if we have that set at A sharp 3, now we have, and it's not there anymore. The only thing we have to adjust on the strings on the final one, D, the final layer, is the low note. Okay, great. We have everything adjusted properly now. So as you can see, and I'll take a photo of this as well, those sliding levels, whatever, you can see how they intersect, and it makes it very easy to split the keyboard. It's a lot more intuitive than you would think. A bunch of the videos that I've seen, they're using the software, which is great, and I wish I could use the software. Unfortunately, it will not install. I can't seem to get it to interface with the keyboard, so that's fine. Who cares? We can do it manually, and that's what this program, whatever you want to call it, these instructionals, that's what it's really about, is using, using our manual dexterity, our super useful hands. So let's go back to the bass, and we have the vector. The vector joystick is enabled. Now, if this is not enabled and you'd like to enable it, which I can't imagine why you wouldn't, because you get really cool sounds using this thing, you just press Shift and Vector, this button, that'll turn it on. So anyway, now we have a nice mix here. Now the only thing, to be nitpicky, I'd like to have this is more of a lead sound, magic. Oh, also this, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Let's get rid of that. We don't want that. We just want a nice solid sound coming out of there. Great, perfect. Okay, so let's go back and adjust the volume for this section of the keyboard. This section, and we're going to do that just by pressing Shift, and we're going to go to Perform first, and then we'll press Shift, left arrow. There's you can adjust your velocity zones for keyboard velocities. And here is our mixer. So we're going to go to C, and we're going to increase the gain. Let's see how this is. Better. Okay, and how about over here? This feels like it could use a boost in gain as well. That feels about right. No, a little higher. Let's just make it the same. I don't want to take too long on this demo. I want to show you everything, but okay. So now we have two bass sounds on the bottom third of the keyboard. In the middle, we have the wave sequence magic, and at the top end, we have the strings. So let's hear what this sounds like together. Now, another reason, by the way, before I get started, because we have the vector stick set in this really cool, where we can that's part of the reason why we had to adjust these lead tones. Okay, let's take a listen to how this sounds together. So first we have the bass, the bro bass and the wubba bass, which are on the bottom third of the keyboard. Now let's add the middle third. Now let's go up to the top part. Perhaps not, maybe not the most brilliant keyboard part that's ever been played, but that's pretty much how you split the keyboard, so it's not very difficult. Simply shift, go to keyboard zones, and then from there you can adjust the high and the low note of each part of the keyboard, and that's how you split the keyboard. Thank you very much for joining me in the demo, and I hope you guys will have a great day.